Hello class and welcome to lesson 6.4 Functions and Formulas. What we need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is realize that formulas are used quite often in society, and we just have to know how to sometimes rearrange them, make substitutions, or to solve them in some cases. So here's what the box says. We know that we can solve formulas for an unknown variable if we substitute all known variables into the formula. Many applications in math, science, and business are used in this way to get information. Sometimes we need to rearrange the formula after a substitution. Well, I'm actually going to rearrange the formula, then perform the substitution. So I'm going to do it in a little different order. All right, so let's just take a look. Here are some formulas we've used in the past. So that is the formula for the volume of a cylinder. This is when you're taking a look at the intensity of two music options or objects. And this is the compound interest formula. So you've got an investment. That's what that's for. What we're going to do today is, here's an example using a new formula, which is the volume of a sphere. So that's the one we're going to focus on for our 3 questions down below. Okay. The first question says, identify the constants and the variables in the formula. Well, first of all, constants are numbers all by itself. So hopefully you realized 4. Hopefully you realize 3, but I'd also want you to remember that pi is also a constant. It's 3.14, but it's a rational number. It keeps going on and on and on. And I want to remind you that don't use 3.4 in your calculations. Use the pi button, okay, when doing work with geometry, okay? And then we're going to do the variables. The variables in this case, ladies and gentlemen, are v and r. Okay, and 3 is the exponent attached to the variable. All right. Okay. 4b, determine the volume when the radius is 9. So what we do, ladies and gentlemen, is rewrite our formula. Volume equals 4 pi. But instead of typing r, I'm going to put the value of r because we're going to let r equal 9. So I'm going to write 9, and then I'm going to cube it. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, to divide by 3. Most of the times when I get an error with the volume of a sphere, people forget about that. All right. So if you take your calculator and go 9 cubed, you're going to end up with 4 pi times 729. Yep. Okay, and then we are going to, apologize, I lost my train of thought there, divide by 3, okay? And then you can plug that all in your calculator, or just get your numerator. So if you get your numerator, 4 times pi times 729, if you just do the 4 times 729, you're at 2,916 pi divided by 3. Okay, and plug it in your calculator all together, ladies and gentlemen, and you should get volume equals 3,052.08, and that's rounded, so it's approximately. So therefore, volume is 3,052.08 centimeters cubed. Don't forget your units there. Just ran a room on the page, that's why it's down lower. Otherwise, it should be beside it. All right. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. Last question. Calculate the radius when the volume is 904.32 centimeters cubed. So we're going to work backwards here. So I'm going to rewrite the formula first. So it's 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. And I'm going to rearrange this formula for the radius. So the first thing that's in the way is this divided by 3. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is times by 3. So it's going to be 3v equals 4 pi r cubed. Now to get r cubed by itself, currently it's times by 4 pi. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4 pi. If you're wondering about that 3, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted me to show times 3, and that would cancel, that's where that's going, okay? So now we cancel out this, and we're left with the third root. We learned last day when you've got the nth root to take the cubic root of 3v divided by 4 pi will give you r. So what we're going to do is now solve for r. So r equals, I'm just going to flip the equation around. So it's going to be the cubic root of, now I'm going to do my substitution, 3 times 904.32, all divided by 4 pi. Okay? So plugging in your calculator, again, we're going to do the third root of this. Get your denominator. So multiply that, divide by 4 pi in your calculator, and you should get 215.89, and that's rounded. All right, and then remember, take the third root of that, so that's going to equal 5.9989. Okay, and that's rounded, so it's approximately or very close to 6. So therefore, the radius is 6.0 centimeters. Okay, and watch your units there. Radius is singular. It's only when it's cubic because it's cubed in the formula. All right, so practice rearranging some equations, folks, on your homework here, page 121, 122, numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, and 14. Have a fabulous day.